Hello. Today, I'm revisiting the drawabox scorpion, and I don't know. I'm gonna see. Maybe I should make it a bit larger, something like that. Trying to think. I guess I could place it there. Kind of. I want it kind of out of the way. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I want to flip it and kind of put it over here. Oh well. Well, I'll try to work from this. So, in the Drawbox exercise, the focus, some of the main aspects of it was to, obviously you focus on the head. Oh, just to reiterate, when I do the gesture of an insect, I'm doing it on a separate layer. The purpose is to summarize, everything into either a straight line, which you rarely run into with organics, or anything that's not industrially made, S curves, C curves, or circles. That's always what I try to focus on for establishing the gesture up front. Now this image. I'm drawing from this image because I'm revisiting the Drawbox exercise, but I think more often than not, you may want to get a better image of a scorpion. The only reason why I say that is because, one, when I kind of make this image a bit larger, it's not too blurry, it's a little blurry. The other issue here is we can't see all 8 legs. I'm not saying every image you draw from needs to show everything, but I feel like when you're learning, it is important to get that, So when a scorpion is in the same family of arachnids, I believe. So you have the head and thorax. Head and thorax are fused together, and the abdomen is a bit further out. Not further out, I mean it's connected to it too. But I'll show you. I'm going to use some aspects, but let me get to doing the gesture. So first, I'm going to start off summarizing the head. And you see the body. So in the original example for the scorpion, the body was summarized using a box. So I feel like that was the first introduction to kind of using straight lines or straightish lines. In my opinion, and I know I'm not a professional yet. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me draw the thorax too. Well, you know what? Yeah, let me do that. I believe it would kind of be well, actually, sorry. I'm making a lot of mistakes already. I'm just going to be drawing the abdomen because the head and that's all covered in here. So maybe I should have even made it a bit longer. No, I think that's good. So I'm going to try to summarize the abdomen into more of a bean shape, because that's kind of what I'm seeing. If anything, it's kind of more like a sausage. I should have made it a bit larger. And that's kind of what I'm seeing here with it. Obviously, the end isn't rounded all the way, but just to show, I will do a box to kind of show what the idea of how the Drawbox demonstration kind of summed it up. And I think it does make a lot of sense. It kind of used more of a rounded box, I believe, and it was kind of showing the tapering near the end. And perhaps that method is better than what I'm trying to do here. Then kind of going with the shape language of it. mean, I feel like this technically would fall within gesture. I mean, because you are using, well, I'm using curved lines, but you could use straight lines as well. But I'm just trying to establish the initial. And you know what? Now that I'm doing it, I'm going to do it one more time. Maybe I should have made it. Kind of like that. Now that I think about it, it's attached to it. Okay, I'm going to roll with that. Okay, so what I want to do, I'm going to lay out where the legs would be, which would be on the thorax or the cephalothorax. And it's really weird to see, but, well, from a reference image, we can tell that all of the legs are relatively close to one another. Even though we're only seeing, like, I'm seeing, if you look where my computer mouse is, I see 1 leg, 2 leg, 3 leg. There's got to be 4. I think it's right here. So it's a bit obscured. The other thing here is scorpions have those additional claws. And because they have those claws, well, they use it to pinch. I don't know if they use it to pinch prey or defend themselves. One of those. You also have the tail. And, okay, so I established that. We have that. Let me draw the rest of the pilot holes for its legs, even though we're not going to draw all of the legs. I do want to make videos in the future of other scorpions of different angles to kind of show and also learn a lot myself more about scorpions. There are a lot of them. It's pretty interesting. There are just so many different varieties, not even to go into tailless scorpions and like whip scorpions, and I think they're maybe scorpions that can fly, I think, or they're like considered pseudo scorpions, but I'm going on a tangent. Okay, so I'm going to establish like the gesture of the tail. Yeah. And I'm also, since the end part, you know what, it's more like a bean. I'm trying to think. Kind of like that. I'm just trying to get some initial things settled. I guess maybe I'm kind of delving into construction. I'll do a couple more. Gets really obscured here. Like I really can't see what the leg here is doing because it's obscured by the claws, by this claw. It's a bit difficult, but I guess I'll try to establish like a path. Now, the back leg that is visible here, I can't, I'm guessing that's I hate the guess. I really do. It's very frustrating. But, like, there are definitely other legs. I just can't see it based on this photo. I will get better photos in the future, so please bear with me. Okay, now I'm going to draw circles. Well, you know what? I will draw circles for the claw, even though personally I think I'm kind of delving into construction now, but I kind of want to stop on this gesture layer that I've been working on. You know what? No, I will do it. Kind of like that. Oh, you know what? You know, I think I'm going to actually put that on the construction layer. So I kind of established gesture. At this point, I think I'm going to start with a shell. And what I see, if you look at the reference image where my mouse is, I kind of see like a layer. It's kind of like a hood over our scorpion until you get to like the first ribbing. It's kind of like over its head. Oh, you know, I'm sorry. I'm going to do this again. I'm going to make 2 pilot holes for like the fangs of our scorpion, because they do have those. I'll put it like, you know what, I'm gonna draw the hood first. Kind of like that. And the interesting thing about the hood, if I am observing correctly, it's kind of like that initial hood stops, like it is covering, but then it stops covering, like right where the last foot ends. So it kind of like goes to that point. It conveniently covers the feet, or its 8 legs. Although that's just what I'm seeing in the image. The other thing is under here, our scorpion has 2 fangs. There may be another technical name for it. Actually, I have another. You can't see it on the screen, but I kind of pulled up an image of like anatomy of a scorpion. It's not this scorpion, but I guess you could kind of say that some things kind of follow. But I see with our scorpion, there are like 2 fangs. And they obviously attach to the head, kind of like there. And the other one is right next to that other one. So, and it's really interesting because I know, like, you should see a camel spider that will open its, like, I guess you could say mouth. It has a really cool open mouth. Like, I'd love to do a drawing of one of those one day. Because, like, I think it's like 4 pieces. It kind of looks a bit like a monster. But I don't mean to call it a monster. I don't mean to call the bug a monster. They're pretty cool, and they're just probably doing that for self-defense. So I drew this initial hood. The other thing I'm realizing is I should have tried to wrap it more. I didn't. Initially, when I did this, I didn't wrap it along the surface, and I should have done that. And I just finished that piece off now. It's right over here, if you can see it. The other thing is the ribbing along its body here. It starts off really small, so I'll show you. Now, it starts off really small. Like, I see 2 small ones. Then after those 2 small ones, it gradually gets a little bit longer. And it's like each one's getting like incrementally larger. until you get to like the last three, and they're pretty long. Oof, I think I made that one bulge out a bit too far. Yeah, I think I did. And I know, well, I'll show you. I don't like that one. I like the ending piece here. It seems a bit more, it's longer and it also kind of like tapers near the end to kind of like the shape language of it I'm seeing is it kind of tapering. So it's getting thinner as it goes away. The other thing I'm seeing right here, I see like a little bit of a point on a reference, if you could see where my computer mouse is. I'm guessing it has to do, like, I don't know why it's like that. I want to draw it just because I see it and it looks a little important. It's like something, I don't know what. It may just be the perspective. It may be like the initial tail piece. So the other thing, at this point, I want to do the tail, but I kind of want to lay out some ellipses to kind of show the ribbing. Not the ribbing, but I kind of want to do the segments of the tail that curls up in a more logical way. So in the drawabox course, before the insects one, there's a whole lesson on plants. And like one thing about them was branches. So because I'm seeing this twisting in 3D space, I keep thinking of like a branch that would twist in 3D space. So I kind of want to lay some ellipses along the axis of the tail, just so like I have a better, like I want to do it. I want to do it a bit smarter. I'm not. That's not the best word to describe it. I kind of want to try to do it a little bit better. Probably a bad, poor choice of words. Kind of like that. So just to go back to the shell, I think I should have made the shell kind of above the legs. I kind of made it kind of covering the leg holes, but I think now that I'm looking closer at it, the top shell kind of protecting the scorpion's head, it couldn't be like that because the legs wouldn't be able to move if the shell covering was covering those legs. Right? But okay, I'm going to work on the tail. So I see the tail, I see kind of like they're kind of like these bulging bean shapes. Kind of like go around, but I'll show you. And it's like all of these bean shapes. They kind of like a Russian nesting doll. They kind of like go in. To the next tail. that. And I keep, for some reason, it may just be a perspective thing I'm seeing, but it's kind of like there's a side that's like a little mini S-curve. But that's kind of just how I'm summarizing it. And I'm also seeing that as the tail gets closer to the top, it kind of looks like it's tapering ever so slightly. It's kind of funny because the scorpion that I'm using as reference, the scorpion that I'm using as a reference image, I kind of realized I made a mistake. I think this area right here is way too large for that last ending part, but I'm going to roll with it. But the interesting thing is, there's another scorpion that I'm kind of looking at its anatomy diagram of it, and that scorpion, like the tail length, the last part is extremely long compared to the one we're currently looking at. Perhaps it's kind of like a perspective illusion. That's kind of what I think, but I'm going to roll with it. Yeah, it's like the Russian nesting dolls. They all conveniently connect. So near her tail here, I kind of see like a disc. I'm not really sure what to make of it, but it's kind of like some connector. And obviously you have the ball here. And it's a stinger, which probably has venom, or would it be venom? I guess, something like that. And the important thing, I believe, to think about the tail is that it doesn't just sit there. Like there is like there should be a point. I should have drawn an ellipse here before to show that like there's going to be like a hook that connects to it, because it's a form that also sits within the tail. Like it's not just sticking out on top like a birthday hat. It's a form that's inset within that ball thing here, which is apparently called a vesicle, and I believe the sharp thing is called an aculeus, or aculeus. I'm probably saying the Latin words wrong, but okay. So at this point, I want to do the legs. Or maybe I'll touch upon... Okay, so interesting thing here. Now that I'm seeing the shell again, I think I made another mistake in which I kind of assumed that, okay, I'll put it this way. There should be like a ribbing to each part here. Like it should kind of like, they're all kind of like their own segmented units. And I kind of just wrapped it around the sausage form that I drew. So I think the problem with that is does a poor job showing the connection when there should be like, it's a little bit different. Well, I really messed it up now, but it's kind of like there's a bit of an overhang. They're like these little overhang blocks that I could kind of see. I'm not going to do it justice, but definitely do look at the, wow, I really messed it up. I should have drawn a box. I'll draw a box to the side to kind of show probably what I should have done. So I think what was going on is I kind of did like a bunch of these. And I think my problem here, and I'll do it just as an example. I'm just kind of rolling with it. I'm just kind of summarizing it for the sake of the example. So I think the problem I made was I tried to do that when I think Mort should have been like that. And I think I could have gotten away. I think I could have gotten away with it if I paid more attention to my reference image. I think kind of like that. I think kind of like that kind of does a lot more justice. So yeah, proving myself wrong by not using a box. I'm really tired too, so please forgive me. Darn, I'm trying to think how I could best fix this. I don't really think I can so much. But I'm gonna try. Oh well, not doing it justice at all. And I'm also seeing that part, which kind of connects to that. I did draw that before, but I guess that did not do the ribbing too much justice. Okay. So now I am going to work on the legs. It's very obscured, but I'm going to try to roll with what I have. I'm going to draw the back leg first. It's kind of like a tapering bean. Or tapering bean shape. Let me do that one again. Kind of like that, then it kind of like thins out. Becomes a bit tubular. Then it kind of becomes like that. And I'm seeing one of those gripper things to like grip, I don't know, whatever it can. Probably plants or whatever it needs to, so it could climb more easy. I'm going to work on the back left leg now. Darn, I am working with a lot of obscured stuff. But for this initial sausage shape, I'm kind of seeing that. Apologies that it's a bit difficult to see considering everything I've drawn, but maybe I should draw in a different color. I'm going to draw in red to kind of show you the legs. Just to show you more easily what I'm doing and how it's connected to the pilot holes. Although I'm pretty sure there should be some, there may be, I may be totally messing this up because usually when it comes to like spiders, I always see this initial really stubby connector point to its cephalothorax. It's like you always see that, but it's obscured here. Like I know it's there, I just can't see it, and I don't want to make a guess here. So you have that initial shape. And you have that shape. Then you have the elongated one. I should have made it a little bit fatter on the end. Then you have that, which is interesting. Kind of like that. I think I should have made it a bit more rounded out. Connecting that. Then it's really interesting. I'm seeing that again, in which it kind of like thins out a bit. You know, it's kind of reminding me of like something like this. It's kind of like two cones. Like its leg segment is like two cones that come together like that, and then that's a part of like what I'm seeing. So now that I think about it like that, I think I'm going to go back to that leg and try to summarize it as such. Or, I mean, like two tapering cones. Then you have that last bean shape. Then you have like the gripper thing. There's got to be two. I'm seeing on like every foot end of this scorpion, there's like two, but I think based on the perspective we're seeing, there's only one, so it's probably like directly behind it, but it's a bit obscured. Now on to the second leg. So this part, oh, it's so difficult to see. I think what I'm seeing is like the initial bean, kind of like that. Then I'm seeing that one there. Kind of like that. I didn't do that justice. I should have made the gesture a bit more... it should have been sticking out more. Like it should have continued more. Like over there. Kind of like that. But I'll try to form fit it with what I have, even though I'm gonna kind of break the gesture line that I committed to. And I'm seeing there's like an interesting connecting point here. Like I'll show you what I'm gonna do. It's kind of no. Kind of like that. And I'm seeing like a connector here. I'm not sure what it is, but it kind of looks like a bit of a film that's kind of connecting the leg segments. I don't know. Like, I keep thinking it's kind of the equivalent of like skin. I know it's not skin, but not really sure. Okay, so I'm gonna draw this point here, which is like the tapering cylinders that I've been seeing. And sorry that I'm breaking that gesture line that I originally meant to do. But I just don't like it. And perhaps shame on me for doing that. But then we have that bean shape that's kind of like fatter on the end. Kind of tapers out. Let me do that one more time. I think I made it too long. Yeah, I think that's... Yeah, I'll do it one more time. I still don't like it. That's good. And we have the claw things. Okay, now to this leg. Still can't see all of the parts of it, which is a shame. I'm going to quickly do this. This one, it's so frustrating that I can't see the entire leg there. It's kind of like that, kind of like that. But there's definitely more to it that I just can't see. Okay, so back to like the second leg on the left, or 2 down. Can't see that initial one. Really frustrating. There's a lot of obscuring by the left claw. But I'm seeing that. Kind of like that. Kind of like that. Then we have those, I'll draw it here again for you, in which I'm kind of seeing like these 2 connected cylinder tapering cylinders. That kind of are connected. Kind of like that. There. And I'm breaking the gesture line again. Which really bothers me that I didn't get those gestural lines correct. It's really frustrating. I'm drawing the last bean shape to that. The interesting thing here is I'm seeing like a small one near the back end, and I see 2 there and there. Now I'm going to do the last visible leg that I can see, which is the front right leg. Really frustrating that I can't see all of it. But it's definitely back there, like it's gotta connect somehow. The interesting thing here is I could see that there's that same cylinder shape that I keep harping on. It's definitely there. And then there's the bottom one. Then there's like the bean thing. Then the claw. You can see the back one as well. Can't see the other one, it's a bit obscured. Alright. Now I am going to draw the claws. And now that I think about it, I don't think I did justice to the fangs, because I think I kind of drew them I don't like the way I drew them. I think it should have been out more. I think I kind of drew it a bit twisted too much inwards, and they should have been twisted a bit further out. I can't get it to a point that I like it. But I definitely think it should have been out more. Oh well. I'm gonna roll with what I have. So the interesting thing about the claws, I see like an initial ball shape. So it's got to be there on the other side as well, to like how it connects to our scorpion. Then I'm seeing like a larger bean shape, kind of like that. It's a bit obscured on this end, and based on the perspective, it's kind of like, you would think it would just be mirroring that, so you think it would be something like that. But like I said, I really do hate guessing this, and I should be using more reference. Well, I kind of am. Actually, I have an image off screen, and I can kind of see the general idea. Actually, it's actually a little bit simple. Just kind of like that. And that. Even though it's obscured. But I'll roll with it. So... don't like it. I do not like it. Should have been more connected to the ball. Kind of like that. Now for the opposite side. So I guess technically I am using multiple reference images, even though I'm not showing it on the screen. Okay, so I have those initial ball shapes, and then there's like this part here, like the part before the actual claw shape. Looking at the anatomy, it's called a patella or brachium. So it's interesting. It kind of looks like it's in two shapes. It kind of looks like there's a connecting beam shape here, and I'll draw it. This looks like an intermediary connector area thing, and I see it there too. I'm not sure. It's like a smaller bean. It's a bit obscured. Then you have the actually patella, which I said I was going to draw, but I didn't draw. I'm going to do that now. Kind of like that. And on this end, oops. Alrighty, so now for the claw. So originally I said I wasn't going to draw a circle for it, but I think I'm going to draw a circle for it now. Just to kind of encapsulate some of it. It's really large. It's a lot larger than what I thought it would be. It should be a bit smaller based on the changing perspective. Alrighty. So then you have like the two pincers. So apparently, and I'm just learning this, apparently the top finger is fixed, but the bottom one is movable. So that's really interesting. Okay, so I'm going to draw, and like I'm thinking of it as a piece that is like connected, because obviously it's not sitting on top of it like a party hat. It's a it's a it's a piece that wraps around. And I'm also seeing like this middle section. Like I'm not drawing all of the ribbing. But there's like a connecting thing there. I don't know what that little purpose thing serves. I don't know if it's like some type of kind of like a joint in a leg to kind of, maybe that's what kind of gives it its ability to pinch. You know, that you know, the directional pressure, like being able to, like, you know how like you can close your hand or like move your leg, kind of like that. That's just my guess. Now I'm drawing the other pincer. And I'm trying to show how that form wraps around the main ball thing. I'm also seeing, so I drew a ball, and I didn't draw these, there's like this form, because the interesting thing about the claw is that although I drew a ball shape to kind of show the initial, like just to kind of have something to plot, the claw isn't in the shape of a circle. It's like a more complicated shape. Like really what I'm seeing is like something along the lines of kind of like that. Interesting insect armor. The other thing I'm realizing is I think I may have forgotten to draw a beam connecting. No, I did draw it, but I didn't make it stick out enough. I think it should have stuck out more like that. I kind of messed it up when I drew the circle to try to encapsulate the claw within. So also within the claws, there's like a ribbing. And I will draw that. There's like a ribbing. It's like a serration, if you ever think of like a serrated knife. Oh, I also forgot to draw that weird shape I'm seeing here. It's like a, I don't know what it is, but it's something. But yeah, the serration, I believe, is important to the structure. I'm guessing that so it could saw its prey or give pain to whatever attacker is going at it. And it kind of makes me wonder if someone got the idea for a serrated knife by looking at a scorpion. Or like, you know, like what came first. Oh, another thing. Okay, so I had the point on the claws here. At the end, I wanted to say there's like a sharp end point. I don't think I did that justice with the one over there initially. So I kind of added that back in right here. So yeah, I'm seeing that serration. Trying to do it logically. Yeah. It's a bit of a mess, but I don't draw scorpions a lot. So I think it's, I think I like it. I have a lot more to work on. I will not lie. I haven't drawn scorpions for a long time. But yeah. Oh well. A lot to work on. A lot to get better at. But thanks for sticking through the ride. But I also wanted to touch upon one last thing now that I'm looking at the anatomy. So when I drew the carapaces, which I'm guessing are the teeth, I didn't really make, like, I'm now seeing that there's like a sharp point on the end, and I didn't draw those sharp points, which I know is extremely important. I'm not sure if that's like a proboscis type thing or kind of functions like that, because I know that bugs, more often than not, they have like tubes they stick in other insects to like suck out their guts, or I don't know. There's like another process that melts them before they drink them, like a meat slushy. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna leave it at that. But thank you for watching this full video, as I make some mistakes along the way. A lot of mistakes. The more I look at this, the more I'm seeing so many more issues. I'll point out a few other issues I made. If I look at the right claw, like look here where I'm circling, I think I should have made that claw a bit longer. Just a tad bit longer. It would have been great if it was just ever so slightly longer, but probably should have stuck to a box for the main abdomen as well, because I really like this more than what I did here or here. But yeah, thank you for listening. If you have a question, please ask it in the comments. Yeah, if you like what I do and make horrible scorpions, subscribe to my channel. But yeah, thanks for listening. Have a great time, evening, morning, whatever it is, wherever you are. Bye.